get upset on the internet.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Retro Station 1989. I am Dan, the commander and lone human inhabitant aboard our station, and this is License to Play. This is a show where we evaluate licensed retro games, things based on, potato chips, soda pop, famous baseball player, athletic shoe, video games, comic books, movies, anything popular out there that was popular enough to be one thing, and they wanted to turn it into a video game. We evaluate it. If it was retro, all the better. Now, I warned you folks last week that this week I was going to plant an earworm in your brain that won't leave your mind for love, money, credit, Diners Club, Arcturian nipple nuggets, nothing. You can't bribe this thing out of your head. Oh, and I'm supposed to tell you that our show is brought to you today by our benefactors and sponsors at Planet X. Yes, that was an ad. See, Planet X is the folks who put me aboard the Retro Station to help out Earth. You know their motto, Planet X. Do what we say, or we'll melt the Earth. Moving on. Now, I need to tell you, okay? You're in for a sugary, sickening treat, maybe? Look, don't pretend like you clicked on it and didn't read the title. You already kind of know what you're in for, but if you don't know how to read, most of my audience doesn't, I don't think. My space pirates are both unruly and wild and the greatest viewers anyone could have. Also, don't sub if you're not cool, please. I can't have more than a few people around bugging me about when I'm going to review Superman. Don't worry, I got Supermans out there. I already did a Superman. Check my videos. And Friday the 13th. And my favorite NES game. Not just in the horror genre, it's one of my favorites, Jekyll and Hyde. Please check those videos out if you can't believe it. All right, now, honestly, this week's evaluation is the exact opposite of the last week's total evaluation. And that was Tough Man competition with Butterbean, one of my heroes in life. This is the polar opposite. But it's space, so it's the XYZ Zenith opposite. I don't know space or science. That's why I'm perfectly suited to do this job in space aboard a retro station where I am the commander of the retro station. You gotta watch a lot of these videos to know all these little inside references, so get cracking. Probably skip over the first 5 or so. They're really good videos, but they're all orangey and stuff, so don't do that. Alright, but this video was not my decision. Now, Planet X can always tell me, hey, you have to do this one. But this wasn't even from Planet X. This is the decision of one of you fine space pirates calling us up somehow. I say somehow because I'm not sure how they broadcasted a message to us, except for the fact that I do know that they're related to somebody who's in Splat and Cambot's gaming group. So, that being said, all right, I don't ever tell people what to do and they don't tell me what to do. This is not cancel culture. All right? What this is a nice old lady telling us she'd like to see, well, Cambot Jr., play the tape.
Hello? Sorry. Sorry about that. Sorry, one more. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry, Miss Kitty. Hello. This is Billy Bo Baggins. I'm Tooch's mother, and I wish you would do one of your shows with no violence and family values. I know the perfect license you should do. Oh, it's filled with wonder and mystic lands and imagination and children having fun and singing songs, but not too loud, and not having too much fun, so I know they're learning something. And you know the main creature's tall, and They sing their way around the clean neighborhood with a mildly diverse set of children that changes over and over. As the children get older, they are shipped away from the neighborhood and new children are brought in. Oh, yes, and they're taught shapes and hugging, and sleeping and dreaming and quiet things and cutting construction paper and using markers and crayons. Oh, yes, yes, and it's a big purple dinosaur with perfect teeth. Has the same name as two of my husbands, Barney. Well, here's what you should do anyway, Commander. Please do an episode on Barney. And do give my best to the Retro Station family, and you should eat something. You're looking thin. Well, I've got to go and clean up my floor. There's quite a bit of sputum and vomit and a little bit of snot. I'll be back later, and don't forget to watch my son's show every month or week or whenever it's on. I don't have a television. A good day.
So, that was our Fine Space... video ends. That fine space pirate and fan, Florence Dorothy Baggins, is making a personal request to me to play something nice. I mean, she sent Margot the message via shortwave ham radio, pointed with like a shoe and a bucket and like a umbrella like E.T. It was sad and funny and hilarious because it's an old lady. Anyway, so today, Floto, thank you for your call. And she sent along, with a care package filled with cookies, dude, and dry potato mix and a recipe to use the Recon's water and dry fry to create fries and a bunch of astronaut burger likes. Anyway, sorry. You have to understand. Number one, it's been hotter than Hades' nethers around here, and I only get to eat turnips and astronaut ice cream. Not by choice, but that's what we have. But not anymore. Now I've got pseudo burgers and almost fries. It's going to be great. But, all that aside, I know you saw the title card. I know you already know what's going to go happen here. But, if you don't know who or what this license is just by clicking on it, let's get into that right now. Go ahead, Cambot. I was still in high school in 1992. That was the year of Mortal Kombat. Extreme sports, extreme tacos, Sega CD, Sega's console war commercials. This was the age when everything was extreme and had extreme tude. Hell, it was the age of extreme everything. And in the spring of 92, we were introduced to a character that was the opposite of all that. Huggable, lovable, kind, loving, caring, sharing. And every teenager I knew hated the shit out of that guy. And that guy was Barney the Dinosaur. See, Barney was created to fill the gap by the We Sing crew by Cheryl Leach. She wanted to create a show for toddlers, but with a soft message with kindness and hugging and whimsy and blah, blah, blah. Starring a T-Rex that would befriend the kids, soothe their anxieties, and be a companion before returning to his form as a stuffed dinosaur. For sale on the shelves of every store, dime store, gas station, and Toys R Us as far as the eye could see. And it was total bullshit. Okay, let's set the record straight here. I don't need to know much more than how Barney affected people of my kid sister Luca's generation. When you pretend, there's got to be a moment where everything comes back to normal and you're told, remember, make-believe is fun, but this is make-believe. It's not real. You have to let the kid know that the land of make-believe is just that. I didn't intend this to be a rant, but there's not much to go on with this license beyond as much as it seemed like a mom's quest to make a baby's option against things like Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers and video games and choice. We'll talk about that in a moment. The Barney and Friends show lasted from 1992 to 2008, and even its wiki and Wikipedia haven't got crap to say about the content of the show. Well, hell, it lasted a decade. It sold thousands of millions of toys. It created a generation of literally the softest kids in the history of humanity. But that's not the only thing. Oh, good. Man. Oh, jeez. Did we ever find out why the hell the retro station is so dang hot? It's sweltering.
The heat is emanating from an error in our life support systems, meaning we have a choice.
What's the choice?
Heat.
Or?
Air.
Okay. We choose air, and please tell me you're working on the problem.
I am. We should have the matter resolved soon.
Oh, good, okay. The air's stifling in here, and I'm getting angry, so let's try to forget all about this insane heat on my side of things and get back to Barney. So Barney and friends. First, let's start with some of the insane things people believed about this giant purple tumor with perfect teeth. They thought Barney was a good influence on their kids. They didn't realize Barney's philosophy was making them soft, like tapioca made of wishes and unicorn farts. The show begins every episode with a toy coming to life, dancing around and having the unmitigated felt balls to tell us how to live our lives. In what is basically a syrupy sweet concoction of commercialism, faff, and lastly, hiding in plain sight under a veneer of acceptable platitudes and behavior masquerading as morality or some kind of ethical behavior. The 90s are not mysterious, folks. Ask your mom and dad what it was like not to be able to trust anything you were seeing. Even today, when someone advocates for a disadvantaged person, people look at them and they'd rather believe that the person is doing it to make themselves look better or to make other people feel worse by not doing as much as they are, rather than just, trying to give a bum a ham Samuel. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how the 90s made all of this. It's worse now, but the reason my generation, X, was a generation of eternal sus was because of shit like Barney and boy bands and pop idols. Don't get me wrong, the music's fine, and I happen to think Justin Timberlake is ridiculously talented, even today. But back then, we all just knew they were artificial. These weren't five guys that knew each other on the street, like the New Kids on the Block. They were in sync because they were clones of five kids they just kept producing over and over and over again. But anyway, let's take a look at an episode real quick and some scenes from the show, and I'll show you what I mean, okay? Barney begins with a bunch of kids playing most episodes, playing pretend. At this point, you probably missed that Barney's theme song is just Yankee fucking Doodle. It's a publicly owned piece of music. So while it's telling you, be creative, in reality, it's telling you, save that money. It's creating, yes, but a very surface level of art. More artifice than art. Artificial. Like I said. Oh, and I said, but the show's premise is that the power of imagination is so important, and yet it's very much designed to keep you from being too creative, too disruptive. Use your imagination, but don't use your imagination to disrupt things. Use it to think of better ways you can be a turd in the bowl or a bee in the hive. The show then goes on to have Barney take the kids on a magical, make-believe journey that's just about the level of public television budgets. And centering around the day's topic, which is usually hugging, saying excuse me when you bump into somebody. I never really could watch the show for longer than 20 minutes before feeling like my brains were trying to strangle my spinal cord with my colon. So, pardon me if I'm not accurate on this stuff. If you're a hardcore Barney fan, just write me at 1-800-7523 Hamburger and Sandwiches Lane in New York City, New York. That's not a real address, and the fact that you've listened this long tells me all I need to know about fans of the Barney television show. Summed up, it's just a picture of what a show used to be. And had Barney and its creators never come to Children's Television Workshop and at the Muppets, I wouldn't have given a shit about Barney at all. However, they came at Sesame Street with their brand of shallow kids entertainment and ultimately succeeded in chasing Sesame Street from public television to behind a fucking paywall on HBO. Because Barney was just simply too good at monetizing what began as a noble quest by Jim Henson and his friends to educate kids, to really prepare them for a dangerous, wonderful, and complicated world. Barney just wants to hug you and tell you that being nice is nice. And even the conductor at Shining Time Station would tell these stupid asshole dinosaurs to go fuck themselves with a rake.
Thank you. Now, I appreciate it. Something else I'm getting tired of is all this stupid bullshit we have to listen to all the time about children. It's all you hear in this country. Children, help the children. What about the children? Save the children. You know what I say? Fuck the children. Fuck them.
I mean, the world is more complicated than Barney even can think of it. Certainly more complicated than a stuffed dinosaur and public domain tunes with vapid lyrics. Yeah, I don't like Barney. I don't like the license. But the reasons aren't just for its long, eternal parade of mediocrity. It's because for years, Barney brought down television for children. For a decade. Or just a little bit more. And I think kids are softer, dumber, and more vapid and open to any dumb thought that comes into their head than they ever were in the history of television. Finally, air. Thank you, Margot. Which means this roasting pot will soon be livable again. Margot, you're the best. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Commander Dan. Pleasure to help. Also, I love Halloween. I cannot wait for the next evaluation.
And look, it's not that I hate people for trying to entertain kids. Not at all. I hate them for dropping the bar so low that it made it look as though putting forth effort was gilding the lily, or somehow an act of, like, political correctness or falseness. Anyway, this purple turd is one of the millions of things farted out, painted with Barney on it, and designed to entertain children, I think. Maybe. I think sending this out as an evaluation may just prevent humanity from creating something this bad or worse ever again. This is Barney's hide-and-seek game, and that's what it says for the Sega Genesis. Now, it's supposed to be, shoved into a Genesis and bleep and bloop and squelch and fart until the child's brains are turned into whipped oatmeal. Let's see if we end up with our brain cells or bran flakes as we evaluate this video thing. I hesitate to say game. So, fire it up, Cambot Jr. And hold on to your butts, smaller, tinier, interior butts, because if you're a gamer, the words hardcore and casual are about to lose all meaning. Brace yourself. Brace yourself and your butts, and have your butts brace their little tinier interior butts and them tinier butts inside of them. Seriously. For Barney. Hide-and-seek game for the Sega Genesis. Seriously. Yeah, I don't know what that sound is supposed to be. Does he make that sound on the show? Oh, yeah, let's use our imagination to pretend we're playing Sonic 2, for God's sakes. Oh my God, this game is so insulting on so many levels. Hints for grown-ups? Oh, I got some hints for you, grown-ups. Number one, this game is not a game. Number two, your children are being made dumber right now. You'd be better off serving them lead paint with breakfast. Moving on, I never understood if Baby Bop is a real dinosaur, or if she just says, fuck this, and never turns back to a toy because, fuck that noise. There's no telling what the 3 buttons will do when you press them. Also, Barney is insipid, like the show, but here, Barney shows you that even if you're a grown-ass adult, they still make the hiding kids hang half their ass and neck and head in plain view behind every boulder and log in the forest, because they don't trust you to find a child for your kid. They don't believe you're ready for the ninja skills these children got to hide from Barney the dinosaur. Believe it. I mean, there are so many levels of this drivel. 4. That's too many already. And the first level should be all you need to know that Barney has these little animals on a tight-ass leash. The kids look happy, but look at Bosco Bear there. His shame face at being bullied around by a fake-ass dinosaur. A real bear would rip that toy up. Ugh. The levels are the Great Outdoors, Music Town, the Deep Blue Sea, and Farm Fun. Names that sound both like generic soda flavors and flavors of crayons that children would eat while watching the stupid show. Deeply stupid children. Seriously, the buttons do whatever. Honestly, they hug kids, they find stuff, they do everything that the button that jumps doesn't do. Which is to say, it does everything that Barney can do except for jump. The goal of the game That's to find all the kids. They're hiding and seeking. That's easy mode. The medium mode is to find all their toys. Pretty difficult. The final level is doing all of that and matching the plants so they all look like each other. But if you want to win, put the controller down and walk away. The game will win itself. And push your dim-witted knucklehead out of the way and show them why video games are meant for other kids and not your kid, because your kid is clearly not smart enough to play Barney's hide-and-seek game. We already know that hide-and-seek is a game, Barney. You don't have to call it a hide-and-seek game. That's like calling it the Royal Rumble match. Or a hamburger sandwich. You big dumb idiot. If you really want to win, if you find one of these cartridges, which I did for $2 at the Midwest Gaming Classic, I found it for $2. Burn it. Just find it, grab it, give them the $2. This is your duty as a human. Take it to the parking lot and set it upon a blazing inferno. This game was made by SEGA to clog our houses with plastic we don't need. All right? That's it, okay? Short story is, your kids may not be meant for video games. If we sit here and pretend to play this concussion of a video game for much longer, we'll all be at the mental faculty level of a person who takes their car to the dealership for oil changes. But even if you never have to ask if Barney loves you, he'll tell you incessantly, over and over again. He's an oversharer on a massive level. It's really embarrassing. The real remaining question is our only question.
Does Barney hide-and-seek game for Sega Genesis have a license to play?
Yeah, it does. Look, I hate this stupid freaking game. I hate it. I won't ever play it again. I'd rather skip it across a lake. I think I've said that before about other games, but I'd really want to. I want to probably do it today. I might even not do it because I like to keep my things and I don't break my things, but also I'm on a space station 3.9 thousand miles above the Earth, so in geosynchronous orbit. I'm sure I'm wrong on the number. I told you don't do science. But as much as I hate this crap, and look, I hate this stupid game so much. I recently had a mini stroke because of a heart attack, and I worry more about throwing my tender think meat into this hammer salad of dullartry and damn fool simpletonism than a blood clot obliterating my brain. Rather, yeah, I can miss a word or two here. And we're not going to take a second take because it doesn't need one. Barney gets the license to play because it's not my fault that I hate it. All right? It's meant for little tiny babies. And so I will trust the parents out there to be suspicious of a big-ass dinosaur hugging the suspicions and money out of them and their kids in the name of purple? I don't even know what he stands for. To do no lasting harm so long as they can moderate its use. I believe in freedom. All right? So the witching hour is upon us. This survives another day, I guess. And we've got a game coming up next that some of you probably have your preconceived notions about. But I guarantee you there's more to our first scary game of the Halloween season than meets the eye or the hairline. I'll give you a hint, all right? And it's just one line from the theatrical version of this license. If you can tell me what this is from and what our next thing is down below as a comment, I will send you something. Hey, would you like a game? I'll send you Barney's hide-and-seek game. Man, there's like 5 different lies in that title alone. But yeah, here's the line. And I only have to say it exactly like it is. And if you can guess it, folks who can't win right now are my friend Janice from work. She won a contest at work, so I can't send her anything. My mods right now can't win this one. You can start winning in Halloween after the first episode. Yeah, that counts. And that would be Drake Red and Stuttering Stick. If you see them around, high-five them and give them hugs. There's going to be a new format over on our Twitch channel. I think everyone will find it fun and enjoyable. But here's the line. And I'm just going to say one of the characters says this. I won't give you anything else. But the character says, all your life, if if you know what that is because you're a fan like me, be here next time because Halloween begins. And I know that I got Margot working on something extra spoopy for us. Spoopy means spooky, so spooky you drop a dookie. Welcome next week to Halloween. Now, more than I've said, this broadcast or any other broadcast, remember to always, always, always stay retro. Peace.
Get upset on the internet. You're assaulted.